Worm, prepare yourself. Damn Saiyan.
So I'm going to go ahead and say that Frieza, hands down, had the best solo episode after being chosen for being on the Universe 7 team. The animation in this episode alone, like if you thought the last episode at the very end, if you thought that animation was pristine and it was movie quality, it was some of the best animation in Dragon Ball Super, well, this whole episode is based on that animation plus a mixture of some of the other better animations that we've gotten. So from an animation standpoint, I know I've said it a few times now, it was phenomenal. This is probably my favorite. This is probably the best, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, this is the best episode of Frieza since the Frieza saga, and that's even cutting out Mecha Frieza. I mean, not that I didn't like Mecha Frieza, but I think Trunks had better parts in Mecha Frieza or standout moments in Mecha Frieza than Frieza actually did. His best moments were back in the Frieza saga, and even when he came back as Golden Frieza, it wasn't the same. Even in the movie, which had really good animation and a pretty decent story plot, it just wasn't. He didn't have this sort of terror to him, this sort of what makes him evil. And this episode, it kind of encompassed everything that made him evil and powerful. And you know, he was toying with his opponents. He was murdering them. He poked all their heads, and then their heads exploded. Like, just in technically alone, this is awesome. Goku told him to stop killing these guys. He told him, essentially he told him, I'm not following your orders. So that's quintessential what I would have hoped to have from Frieza. And the dog guy that got shot in the arm, he just did get shot in the arm in the last episode, because he was alive in this episode, and he had the God of Destruction's power, energy ball from the God of Destruction, which as soon as it hits something, it's supposed to destroy it. And I guess now it's confirmed the Gods of Destruction can kill things that are dead by erasing them. So he can destroy Frieza, he could have destroyed things that are alive like Goku. And so people are saying this is like Hakai, the power that Frieza, that Beerus used against Zamasu, where he instantly destroyed him. Well, and that that it has been leaked right now that Goku is going to try to use the same power against Zamasu, which I'm still not going to cover that until the actual chapter comes out and we get the confirmation on it. But I think they're similar powers. I think that the Hakai one that instantaneously destroys something, I think that if Beerus tried that on Frieza or Goku, it would have instantaneously destroyed them. But I think that the power that he let the dog assassin hold was a weaker power, because I mean the dog assassin had to hold it. And not for nothing, for Dragon Ball Z and for Dragon Ball Super, GT, Dragon Ball, one of the things I love about him and hate about him is how little they explain things, because how little they explain things, it leaves a lot to the imagination and leaves to a thriving Dragon Ball community, while it also is kind of frustrating when they don't explain things, like how the dog assassin was able to carry this immense power ball without touching it, and he kind of just pulled it out of thin air. And so that was kind of confusing, like how are you going to hold it or pull out of thin air when you're extremely weak and you can't really control it. And then, but if it hits, like say Frieza or Goku, it can eviscerate them, and that's what happened. It actually hit Frieza, and Frieza instantaneously just drew it all back and popped right out of it. And then he hit Goku with it, and people are like, what? So does this mean Frieza's stronger than Goku? I don't think so. At the very end, Beerus said that they're at the same level, or I think we said that they're at the same level. But I think that the reason that Goku couldn't get out of it was because Goku was in his base level, and he couldn't get out of the destruction ball, and so he was trapped in there. While Frieza is as soon as he transforms into his golden form, this is his form. It's not like something that he can just get popped out of like he did in the Golden Frieza arc or a Super Saiyan transformation. It's more of a form that's like his final form. Like he's stuck in it. Even when he got knocked out at the end, he was still in his form, even though Goku had been snapped out of it, or snapped out of his blue form. So he has perfected this golden form and has made it into an actual transformation. And he said that it was his concentration, all his when he was being tortured in hell, how he concentrated his energy on and his composure and all that. And so at one point he actually said that he pointed he had both his arms out. One was glowing blue, one was glowing red, and he said it was tranquility and wrath. And that had me thinking so much of from the manga, the Dragon Ball manga, where we've gotten the explanation that the differences between Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue, and Super Saiyan God is like the raw energy of the Super Saiyan God transformation, or or raw God energy, while the Super Saiyan Blue is ultimate ki control. And so he's got both of those sort of concepts in the Golden Frieza form. And I would say the Golden Frieza form at this point is probably one of the strongest forms in Dragon Ball Super, up there with Super Saiyan Rose, up there with Super Saiyan Kaioken. And I was actually kind of I was disappointed because I wanted to see Goku go Super Saiyan Kaioken again, since he goes Super Saiyan Kaioken against, everybody. I wanted him to go against Super Saiyan Kaioken against, Frieza, but I think Goku realized that Frieza's he's much stronger. Even when Frieza first was, when he was first fighting and he transformed and he, got out of the Hakai, Goku was like in awe, like in shock, like way more than he was when he was fighting 17. So I don't think 17 honestly is that strong as Goku. I think Goku was kind of like edging him on, like, yeah, you're almost there. He probably is close, but not as strong. I think with Frieza, he actually felt like the fear, and you can actually see the fear on Goku's face, like, yes, Frieza is an actual threat. Probably shouldn't have brought this guy back. And then this is the first time, like, this was actually shocked me in the episode. I was like, what? The fake spoilers and the real spoilers were both correct. That blew my mind. I don't know why it did. Because I had anticipated that the real spoilers were real, obviously, that that the next episode he was going to be part of the team. This is going to be his episode where he fights everybody, this and that. I don't know, maybe somehow this guy who leaked the fake stuff, he decided to make his own episode after this, and where they find a new 10th member, that Frieza goes into a different direction. But he obviously found had some knowledge that Frieza was going to try to go in the Universe 9, and he did. He actually, once he trapped Goku in the Hakai, he went and grabbed Tortured, which is an awesome torture scene. It reminded me so much, great animation. It reminded me so much of him torturing Piccolo, and he tortured one of the assassins until he got the little transmitter. And in Universe 9 didn't want anything to do with him. It was like, no, this guy's even more of a god of destruction than you, Sidra. Like, it was pretty funny, honestly. And he wanted to go onto their team. And I love the fact when he was like, there must be something that you want to protect, something, family, friends, something that you want to defend in that universe. And he was like, I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Like, well, that makes, either he doesn't care about Cooler. I know Cooler is not canon, but he doesn't care. But it's funny to think he doesn't care about Cooler, doesn't give a fuck about Cooler, or Cooler. If the movies coincide with the Dragon Ball Z anime, then he's dead. But anyway, no, I know it's not. I know it's not canon, but it was pretty interesting. Like, it almost reminded me of when if anyone watching Naruto Shippuden, when they first meet Sasuke, and Sasuke's like, all cold, and he's like, I don't know, I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, when they're talking about his loved ones and stuff like that. Like, he just reminded me so much of Sasuke in that moment. But with Frieza, it's so much better because we know that he's a tyrant. We know that he's like pure evil, and we know that there's nothing really like that was good before that we've ever seen. We don't really know too much of his backstory, and I'm hoping we get some more of it. But again, just such a great episode. I can't. This is the best outing of Frieza that we've ever seen. The Golden Transformation completely works in this episode. At some point, he's doing like a timer. He's like, you got a couple seconds before, to make up your mind, and they're not making up their mind. Sidra kind of wants him on the team, but the sinister Supreme Kai, which is what I'm calling him, he doesn't want him on his team because he's like, we can't control this guy. He's gonna attack us. He's gonna destroy us. And then at one point, if you guys didn't catch it, he goes. Sidra goes, I'll just destroy him if he betrays us. And then the guy goes, the sinister Supreme Kai goes, oh, you think it's going to be that easy? And then Sidra goes, yeah, of course. Like, he wasn't sure if he could destroy Frieza. So, really interesting. Love it. At that point, Beerus comes. So does Whis. Beerus blows Goku out of the ball. And Goku, I like the fact like all the technical aspects of this episode, like the minions getting hurt, getting destroyed, the explosion of the heads. You know, it was more of a gory episode. It was more gory-ish, as much as Super has really gone into it, because Z was way more gory and bloody and stuff like that than Super has been so far. But this episode kind of brought some of that stuff back, and Goku was actually kind of torn up. His uniform was all torn, everything was all just, you know, ripped up and stuff. And then when Beerus like threatens Frieza's just like, oh, like he was playing dumb with him. And it was a far cry from Frieza being scared of Beerus when he first turned into the Golden Frieza transformation. Like, I think Frieza like was just like, you know, it kind of leads to this part of the episode, but he like knows that he's like, you know, I'm almost there. Like, I'm getting close, just like Goku is. I'm as strong as Goku. Like, there's really no, I'm not as scared as I was with you know, before, you know, when it comes to our power levels, Beerus. And even at one point, which is my favorite part of the episode, Beerus is like, Goku, you should be a lot more mad about this, blah blah blah, this and that. And then Goku's like, no, it was my fault for putting my guard down, this and that, you know, whatever Goku's always done. And then Frieza has like a moment where he's like, so this tournament of power, there's a chance I can manipulate the gods of destruction. And he's like, Beerus, you won't have your reign forever. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially the essence of what he's saying. And so I think that Frieza, this 24-hour deal, that's not gonna be the end of him. I think that he's gonna be coming back. I think that at some point there's gonna be something along with him and a god of destruction. Maybe I want to see Frieza take on the gods of destruction, or a god of destruction, and see what happens. I think that's where this is going to, where he's either going to take a god of destruction down, or he's going to manipulate them. Because remember, he is really smart. He is not dumb. Like, he's not dumb like Goku. He's extremely smart. So he was like, I think in the future he's going to manipulate the gods of destruction in some way, and that's going to come into the tournament of power. And Frieza's probably the most dangerous. I didn't realize how dangerous, but he's probably one of the most dangerous characters you could have revived and had put into this tournament or whatever. But after that, they have a little sparring match. They're at equal points in power. They knock each other out. Goku gets out of the blue transformation. Frieza's still in his golden transformation. And the episode ends. Even Whis is like, nah, he's still probably going to be evil. And I think maybe if Frieza becomes a god of destruction, because like they were kind of foreshadowing that with the Sinister Supreme Kai saying like he's more of a god of destruction than you. Maybe that's where they're going to go with it. But awesome episode. The next episode is the beginning of the Tournament of Power. Almost exactly what I assumed it would be. There you have all these characters there, brand new characters there as well, which I can't wait to kind of touch up on in the next my next video, talking about the next episode. And then at one point we see a couple gods of destruction kind of sparring, which was awesome too. So I'm excited for the next episode. I'm excited to see everyone's reactions to Frieza and the commentary between them and Frieza, especially 17, because I think that 17 is probably the closest one to the Goku Vegeta power level. Maybe Gohan right underneath 17 from what we've seen so far. But let's go ahead and keep our minds open and see what's going to happen in this Tournament of Power. But excited. The Tournament of Power starts out in a week from what I know so far, and it hasn't been changed. In a week. Super excited, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this episode, some of the things that maybe the standout moments that you guys thought should have been covered by me here. But again, I'm just coming up with all the things that I can think of right off the bat. Put them in the comments below. Let me know. Drop me a like if you like my video. And this is going to be Dragon Ball Black signing off.